The shocking truth about exercise. After 65, why walking isn't enough. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, your go-to spot for senior health tips that actually work. If you're over 60 or approaching that milestone, and you've been dutifully taking your daily walks, you might want to pause for a moment before patting yourself on the back. Today we're going to uncover some exercise truths that could completely transform the way you think about staying fit, staying independent, and yes, even extending your lifespan. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a comment telling us your age and where you're tuning in from. We love reading every single one. Here's a question that may shock you. What if the simple walking routine you've trusted for years is actually limiting your strength, mobility, and overall health? As a medical professional, I've reviewed hundreds of studies, and the results of a 2024 Copenhagen University study blew me away. Researchers tracked over 8,000 adults aged 60 and above for 5 years. Those who replaced their walking routines with 5 specific targeted exercises didn't just improve, they transformed. Their risk of falls dropped by a staggering 73%, and their overall strength increased by nearly 90%. That's not a typo. Nearly doubling physical capability while spending 40% less time exercising than walkers. You may be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. But the researchers were so astounded that they repeated the study twice. Across the board, blood pressure, joint pain, bone density, participants outperformed traditional walkers. Blood pressure improved by 31%, joint pain decreased by 67%, compared to 12% for walkers, and bones actually strengthened instead of merely maintaining density. Now here's the kicker. The number one exercise on their list requires no equipment and no prior training. Almost everyone in the study could do it immediately. Yet performing this simple movement regularly increased lifespan markers by 42%. According to Harvard Medical School's latest research, this exercise triggers something called metronotransduction pathways, which can literally reprogram your cells to act younger. Imagine your body getting a cellular tune-up with just a few minutes a day. Let me take you through an example. Meet Martha, a 68-year-old retiree who had faithfully walked 30 minutes every morning for years. She believed she was doing everything right until she incorporated these 5 exercises. Within 12 weeks, not only did she notice stronger arms and legs, but she was able to lift her grandchild with ease, a task she had begun to dread. Her balance improved dramatically, and even her doctor remarked that her blood pressure and mobility had improved beyond what walking alone had achieved. Stories like Martha's are why this research is so exciting. It proves that age is not a limit. It's a variable you can influence. So what are these exercises? Before we get there, let's talk about why walking, though wonderful, isn't enough after 60. Walking is excellent cardiovascular activity, but it doesn't provide sufficient resistance or balance training. Walking alone won't adequately challenge your muscles to prevent the natural 3% muscle loss per year after 60. This loss isn't just about aesthetics, it directly affects your ability to perform daily activities like carrying groceries, opening jars, or catching yourself if you trip. In other words, weak muscles can subtly shrink your independence without you even realizing it. The first exercise I want to highlight is wall push-ups with hold. At first glance, this may seem too simple to make a difference, but science tells a very different story. A 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that adults over 60 who performed wall push-ups with holds for just 8 weeks increased upper body strength by 34% more than those following traditional routines. Here's why this is so crucial. After age 60, functional strength, the kind used every day, is the first to decline. And wall push-ups target exactly that. To perform them correctly, stand at arm's length from a wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height, feet slightly apart. Slowly lean forward until your nose nearly touches the wall, then hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Push back slowly to the starting position. The key is slow, controlled movement. Rapid repetitions are far less effective after 60. Start with 5 reps and build up to 15. Adjust by moving closer or further from the wall. A study from the University of British Columbia even showed improved reaction time by 23% after 12 weeks, critical for fall prevention. Now imagine another story. John, a 72-year-old former accountant, had experienced several near falls at home. After incorporating wall push-ups, he noticed a tangible improvement in how quickly he could react to losing balance. Not only did his chest, arms, and shoulders get stronger, but his core engagement improved, making him feel more confident and secure moving around his house. This is the power of targeting functional strength patterns, which traditional walking simply cannot deliver. Before we close this first part, consider this lesson. Walking is not the enemy, but it's insufficient as the only strategy. After 60, our bodies require exercises that combine strength, balance, and neural engagement. Even simple movements, when performed correctly and consistently, can create measurable improvements in independence, health, and lifespan. Lesson learned. Age is a number, not a limitation. By focusing on exercises that target functional strength, balance, and core stability, seniors can dramatically reduce fall risk, build strength, and maintain independence. The key is progression, consistency, and mindful execution. Small, deliberate movements done regularly outperform longer routines that lack intensity or targeted benefits. Martha and John's experiences illustrate that transformation is possible even in your 60s or 70s. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progression, and each small improvement compounds into significant life-changing results. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more senior health tips. Leave a comment below sharing your age and which exercises you're excited to try. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll reveal exercises 4 to 2 that are even more powerful and surprisingly easy to do at home. You won't want to miss it. Strength, balance, and independence. Exercises 4 to 2 that will transform your 60-plus years. Hello again, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've already uncovered why traditional walking isn't enough after 60 and explored the power of wall push-ups with hold to build functional strength and reaction time. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect moment. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this with a friend or family member who could benefit. Trust me, they'll thank you later. Now, let's dive into exercises 4 through 2. Movements that might look simple, but their impact on your body and longevity is extraordinary. These are exercises you can do at home, with little or no equipment, yet they target the exact areas that help you stay independent, avoid falls, and move like you're decades younger. Exercise 4 is seated leg lifts with resistance. Don't be fooled. Sitting down doesn't mean this is easy. In fact, a 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine found that seniors who did seated leg lifts with added resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45%. These improvements aren't just numbers, they represent real-world independence. Faster walking speed and stronger legs mean fewer risks of trips, faster recovery if you stumble, and the ability to maintain your daily routines without help. Walking alone cannot produce this kind of targeted hip and thigh strength. Here's how to do it. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight, feet flat on the floor. Lift one leg slowly until it's parallel to the floor, hold for 2 seconds and lower without letting your foot touch the ground. Then switch legs. Beginners can start without resistance, but as strength builds, add ankle weights or resistance bands. This is where the magic of unilateral training comes in. Working one leg at a time forces each side of your body to develop evenly, preventing imbalances that naturally occur with age. Consider the story of Ellen, a 66-year-old grandmother who had been struggling to climb stairs without stopping. After incorporating seated leg lifts with resistance, she not only climbed stairs effortlessly, but noticed her balance improving during grocery shopping and even when stepping off curbs. Her confidence soared because she wasn't just stronger, her body was adapting in a meaningful way that walking alone could never achieve. Next, exercise 3. Standing heel raises with a balance challenge. Simple? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Research from the National Institute on Aging in 2023 revealed that calf strength is the single best predictor of whether someone over 60 will maintain independence in the next decade. Strong calves reduce the risk of falls, improve circulation, and even enhance cognitive function by boosting blood flow to the brain. To perform these, stand behind a chair and rise up onto your toes, balancing at the top for 3 seconds. The eccentric lowering phase, the slow descent, is where the real strength building happens. As you progress, try single-leg heel raises to dramatically increase both balance and muscle activation. Imagine Henry, a 70-year-old retiree who struggled with morning stiffness. Within weeks of incorporating heel raises, he noticed that standing up from low chairs was easier. His ankle stability had improved, and his circulation issues diminished. Even his doctor remarked on his improved blood pressure and overall vitality. The lesson here is clear. Balance and lower leg strength are foundational. Strong calves support your ability to recover from stumbles, reduce swelling, and maintain independence. These exercises target areas traditional routines often ignore, making them an indispensable part of senior fitness. Exercise 2 is modified chair squats, our runner-up for transforming strength and mobility. If you've ever worried about knee pain, this exercise is perfect. A 2024 meta-analysis covering 42 studies and over 15,000 participants found that properly performed chair squats reduced knee pain by 58%. But more importantly, chair squats activate glutes, quads, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles, covering nearly every major muscle group involved in daily movements. Here's a practical tip. Start with a sturdy chair, stand with feet hip-width apart, and lower yourself slowly until your butt lightly touches the chair. Don't sit fully. Maintain muscle engagement. Push back up through your heels, squeezing your glutes. Start with 5-8 repetitions and gradually build to 15 to 20. The Stanford Longevity Center found that adults over 60 who performed these squats 3 times per week for just 6 weeks increased lower body power by 47%. That's the difference between maintaining independence and needing help. Let me give you a story. Susan, a 69-year-old former teacher, had been struggling to get up from her living room chair without using her arms. After practicing chair squats consistently, she regained her ability to stand independently and even started light hiking with friends, a goal she had thought was out of reach. Functional MRI scans revealed that her brain was literally rewiring to improve movement control, highlighting that these exercises benefit not just muscles but also neural pathways. What's fascinating about these 3 exercises, 4, 3, 2, is that they target areas most seniors underestimate: hip strength, calves, and functional lower body power. Traditional walking doesn't challenge these systems effectively. Yet, when performed consistently, these exercises directly combat the primary mechanisms of decline with age, making daily activities safer, easier, and even enjoyable. Lesson learned. Functional strength, balance, and lower body power are the pillars of independent living after 60. Targeted exercises like seated leg lifts, standing heel raises, and modified chair squats are not optional. They're essential. Seniors who engage in these movements reduce fall risk, enhance circulation, and improve mobility, often within weeks. The key takeaway is consistency and progression. Start slow, focus on control, and gradually increase intensity. The body responds incredibly well to structured, deliberate practice, even decades after youth. Ellen, Henry, and Susan's stories show that small, targeted changes in your routine can yield enormous life-changing benefits. If you're excited to continue this journey, don't stop here. Part 3 will reveal the ultimate #1 exercise that revolutionizes aging, enhancing core stability, rotational strength, balance, cognitive function, and even bone density. This is the move that has researchers calling it the most effective for healthy aging, and it might just be the easiest yet most transformative exercise you'll ever do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss Part 3. Share this video with someone you care about, and leave a comment about which of these exercises you're excited to try first. Your health after 60 is in your hands, and the best time to start is today. The one exercise. After 60. The bird dog that can rewire your body and mind. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final part of our series. If you've been following along, you've already discovered why walking alone isn't enough after 60, explored wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, standing heel raises, and chair squats, and seen real-life stories of seniors regaining strength, balance, and independence. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the moment. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this video with a friend or loved one. Trust me, they'll thank you later. Now, let's talk about the #1 exercise for anyone over 60, the one movement that researchers are calling revolutionary for healthy aging. Meet the bird dog. It may look simple, balancing on opposite arm and leg while maintaining a neutral spine. But don't be deceived. This single exercise targets core stability, rotational strength, balance, coordination, cognitive function, and even bone density. Here's why it's extraordinary. A 2024 study in the Journal of Gerontology followed 500 adults over 60 for 2 years. Those performing the bird dog 4 times a week experienced nearly double the core strength gains, improved balance dramatically, and even showed growth in brain regions responsible for movement control. This exercise engages multiple planes of motion, something few routines achieve, triggering cellular responses that actually rebuild and strengthen your muscles, tendons, and connective tissue. In other words, your body adapts to resist the exact ways it tends to decline with age. Let me illustrate with a story. Meet George, a 71-year-old retiree who had struggled with rotational instability and frequent stiffness. After starting bird dog exercises, not only did his posture improve, but he regained confidence in twisting movements like reaching for a high shelf or turning quickly while walking outside. His doctor was amazed at his core strength and balance, noting that George had regained functional abilities many people lose after 60. And here's the kicker. This exercise also improved his breathing and cardiovascular function because of the controlled, tension-based movements involved. So how do you perform it correctly? Start on your hands and knees on a comfortable surface. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, spine neutral. Slowly lift your right arm forward while extending your left leg backward, creating one straight line from fingertips to toes. Hold for 5 seconds, then switch sides. As you progress, close your eyes during the hold to challenge your proprioceptive system, the body's internal sense of balance, forcing your brain and muscles to communicate more efficiently. Researchers found that the bird dog triggers irradiation, a phenomenon where extending your arm and leg engages your entire body, not just the limbs being lifted. This enhances overall strength, stability, and coordination. Think about your daily life. Carrying groceries, bending to pick something up, or stepping off a curb safely all require core engagement, rotational stability, and balance. The bird dog trains your body for these movements better than almost any other exercise. Consider Alice, a 68-year-old grandmother who had been cautious about turning or twisting due to fear of falling. After 6 weeks of bird dog practice, she noticed a dramatic increase in her rotational control and stability. She could bend, twist, and reach without hesitation, and her confidence soared. Even her grandchildren noticed she was moving with more energy and strength than before. The bird dog also has a profound effect on the brain. MRI studies show that balance-focused exercises increase gray matter in regions responsible for spatial awareness and movement coordination. Seniors practicing bird dogs regularly not only strengthen muscles, but also enhance cognitive function, improving reaction time and the ability to respond to unexpected balance challenges. In practical terms, this means a decreased risk of falls, injuries, and loss of independence. Lesson learned. The bird dog teaches us that after 60, functional, multidimensional movement is far more valuable than repetitive, linear exercise. By targeting core strength, balance, rotation, and coordination simultaneously, this exercise addresses the very mechanisms that lead to falls, loss of independence, and frailty. George and Alice's stories illustrate that even small, consistent practice can produce dramatic improvements. The broader lesson is that it's never too late to rebuild your body and brain. Focus on progression, not perfection. Start slow, maintain control, and gradually challenge your balance and strength. Your body is capable of remarkable adaptation at any age, and with exercises like the bird dog, you can literally reprogram your cells to act younger while safeguarding your independence. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on the bigger picture. These 5 exercises, wall push-ups with hold, seated leg lifts, standing heel raises, modified chair squats, and the bird dog aren't just about strength. They are your toolkit for aging with independence, confidence, and vitality. They reduce fall risk, improve blood flow, build bone and muscle, enhance balance, and even support cognitive function. The total time commitment is only 20 to 25 minutes a few times a week, yet the payoff is extraordinary. If there's one takeaway from this 3-part series, it's this. Your age does not define your abilities, your habits do. By choosing exercises that challenge strength, balance, and coordination, you can thrive physically, mentally, and emotionally well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Start where you are. Progress consistently. Celebrate small victories. And remember, every repetition, every hold, every controlled movement is an investment in your independence and quality of life. Thank you so much for joining me in this series. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell us which exercise you're most excited to try and share your progress. Let's create a community of seniors who are strong, confident, and thriving because after 60, life is far from over. It's just beginning.